Hello, everyone. Welcome to Court with Krissy. Here's a collection of short court clips I'm guessing you didn't catch until now. There's dumb, there's fun, even a couple of crazies. But I'm starting off with my favorite. Karen got a speeding ticket. See if you can keep track of the number of excuses she gives, and then leave your answer in the comments. I hope you like it. Court with Krissy is now in session.
First case I'm going to call is John Anderson. Oh, John Anderson. Seems like we have fewer than we had. Next case, Mr. Anderson doesn't appear to be present, so we're going to go to Susan Anderson.
Yes, that's me.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My apologies for our significant delay this morning. Things have just not been going well. So we have a speeding infraction for you. You heard my announcement with regard to the deferment program?
Yeah, there is a deferment program and you're not dismissing any tickets.
Well, I generally don't. I
Okay.
always look to see if there's sufficient information to establish the infraction on a mitigation hearing. I'm not going to generally dismiss. If you want to contest it, we need to get you over to a contested docket.
Okay.
Okay.
Do I tell you what happened now?
Are you interested in the deferment program?
Yes, I don't want this. The reason I'm here is I don't want this on my insurance.
Okay. The best way to go about doing that, because I am looking at the officer's affidavit, and it does appear that there's enough information that could potentially establish the infraction. Okay?
Yes, I committed the infraction.
Okay.
I know I did. I said I did at the time.
Okay. So the best way to do that then is going to be the deferment program.
Okay.
Okay.
Do I tell you what happened?
No, you don't need to explain anything. All we need is an application for the deferment program from you.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
my husband has cancer and we were late for a CT scan. And I just panicked and tried to follow a car in front of us. I didn't even know how fast I was going.
Okay.
And he keeps falling through the holes and getting worse than he was. He ended up with a broken arm from the cancer. He has prostate cancer and he ended up with a broken arm, and then they just let it hang, and then they tried to put a brace on it. Then he had surgery. Then he's still moaning all night long. And I had the radiologist said it wouldn't heal without 10 days of business days of radiation. And I just panicked. I wasn't going to get there, and they wouldn't reschedule him for another weeks, and now he's got bladder cancer, and I'm afraid if I have this on my insurance that I won't be able to drive him to all his appointments. He has 3 bad heart valves. He has INR readings. He has chemotherapy again on Monday. And I've given my money away out of my house to my child. So I have a $1,250 payment, HELOC payment to pay on my house. And I won't be able to afford to drive if this is on my insurance.
I understand.
Okay.
I do
So
understand.
I was, and I couldn't see well with my glasses. I have retinopathy, and because of Dale's broken arm, I was weeks out from getting injections in my eyes in Bellevue. And so I couldn't see the speedometer. And where there's kind of glasses where I can see distance ahead and the speedometer is dark and it's bright out in front of you.
Uh-huh.
So that's why I didn't know how fast I was going. But I'm ashamed. I'm sorrowful.
You don't need to be
And
ashamed.
I'm embarrassed.
I understand the
And I don't
circumstances.
normally ever do anything like this.
That's all right. I understand the circumstances. And unfortunately,
I did it. I know I did it,
Right.
but I didn't know how fast I was going. I just tried to get out of one lane. Then other days is like 49-minute delay from the bridge to thing.
well, fortunately, they're done with that by now.
I know they're done now, but it
I know.
doesn't help me from then.
Well, here's what we're going to do. You get a copy of the application for the deferment program.
Do I
Okay?
get that from the district clerk?
Yeah. Yeah, you can get
Okay.
it from the clerk's office. The fee on it is $150. You can set that up on monthly payments if you need to set it up on a monthly payment. So you can make small payments on it, okay?
I can even borrow for that.
Okay.
I can get that taken care of. It's
Right.
the insurance I'm worried about.
Well, you
I got to be able to take my husband
sure. You do the
to the
application.
doctor. Okay.
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 And you want to probably communicate with the insurance company, let them know that you've done the deferment program on this. And that should cut
I'd rather not tell them anything.
well, okay, but if they say that you've gotten a ticket and they raise your rates, then you should let them know that you've got it
Okay.
on deferment. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So
Okay.
I'm going to give you a deadline for filing the application, and we're going to set that for December 31st.
Okay.
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 Any questions?
Yes.
No.
All right.
No. I'm do everything I can in my life to be merciful to other people. My daughter has I'm supposed to be on a Zoom appointment with King County Courthouse because my daughter's being detained in a hospital because she's mentally ill.
Well, we're going to let you go
I
here.
got to go do that. So
All right.
thank you.
Best of luck to you.
Thanksgiving, both of you, and thank you again for appearing here today.
Thank you.
Yeah, you, Sarah.
Pretty fly for a white guy, or I'm gonna guess that's who you are. Who are you, pretty fly?
I'm Matthew J. Is Matthew Jacobowski. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, Mr. J, I can hear you, but I'm trying to figure out who pretty fly for a Wi-Fi is, or whoever that is.
Jared Blake.
Mr. Terry Blake, I'm gonna change your name because you are in court, Mr. Terry Blake.
Sorry about that.
State versus Jeffrey Leggett. Mr. Leggett, a complaint's been sent out to you. Do you have a copy of that yet? All right, I'm gonna go over that with you. We sent it, so they'll be providing that to you shortly. You're charged with criminal trespass, Class B misdemeanor, carries up to 6 months in jail, up to $1,000 fine. The right to have an attorney represent you on that allegation. If you can't afford to hire one, I'll appoint one. You know what you want to do with regard to an attorney?
Yeah.
Okay, did you want to hire an attorney or do you want to apply for court appointed?
I'll take a court appointment.
All right, there's applications there at the jail. Fill it out. If you qualify, an attorney will be appointed to represent you. I note there was a failure to appear on your OR bond before. Your bond is now set at $10,000. You can post that cash or professional surety, which is a bondsman. There's a list of bondsmen there at the jail that can bond you out. Special conditions, GPS tracking with court service officer supervision.
Could you make it 100,000?
Yeah, I could.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
But $1 million's got you.
you're set.
Oh, you're done? Really? That's all you want? Oh, I got change left.
Mr. Put Mr. Leggett back in the chair there, would you?
Mr. Leggett. Mr. Leggett, wants to talk to you. Who does?
All right, Mr. Leggett. I can't allow people to act like that. It's just nothing personal. It's just we have to maintain decorum, so it's my job. So if you're gonna start acting like that, you're gonna be put in incarcerated.
Right.
You trying to say something?
I said, kudos right back at you, ditto.
I think it may need a competency evaluation. I'm not sure.
I can hear you. I wasn't confident in hearing it.
I think I'm gonna order a competency evaluation.
I can't hear you.
Well, let him talk.
We may take up contempt proceedings.
What's intent?
Contempt.
Contentment? Oh, yeah.
I think we need a competency evaluation. All right, I'll order that. Make sure you get that application filled out. Help him with it. I don't think he's
Well, Your Honor.
very good. All right, this hearing is concluded.
Thank you, sir.
State versus Kevin Jones.
You can sit down, buddy.
No.
Yeah, it's fine. No, he ended up taking a little extra. Stop. Before he gets to bed. Sleep through the 2 weeks.
Walking over.
There's times, yes, you can cuff them, and the jury just can't see that they are.
Kyle, do you need a breakout room?
So, yes, you get off the elevator, go to one of those.
I don't think so. We had a chance to talk kind of yesterday. If Mr. Sheets would like to talk, we can, but I don't think he would want to.
The third floor is.
Alright.
So when you get off the elevator and you walk straight, instead of going to the door, or never going where you want to, you go straight down that hallway.
Good morning, Mr. Sheets. Can you hear me okay? This is Judge Cooney. Mr. Sheets.
Why is this is not my name here today?
What is your name?
My name is Dick Heads. Dick Lambden Heads.
All right. So this is file 2685 of 2024. And Mr. Travis is here on behalf of Mr. Sheets. Mr. Travis, that is your client, correct?
As far as I know, and numerous times I've spoken to him in the jail, that is the same individual.
Okay, and Mr. Atwood is here on behalf of the people. This is the date for a competency hearing. And Mr. Travis, I have received a copy of the competency report. Are you objecting to admission of that?
I am not. I attempted to discuss the matter with Mr. Sheets yesterday, and we didn't really get anywhere. So we have no objection, I guess.
Okay, and so then I'll admit the report, find that the defendant is incompetent to stand trial, but likely to attain competence if provided a course of treatment, and that shall be with the forensic center, their recommendation. So they'll have custody over Mr. Sheets for that purpose. Is that satisfactory, Mr. Atwood?
It is, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, and any concerns about that, Mr. Travis?
None that have been expressed to me and none from myself.
Okay, then. So I'll have you prepare an appropriate order, Mr. Atwood. We'll get that signed and get Mr. Sheets into treatment and schedule it for a hearing at the appropriate time. Is there anything else we need to take up on the Sheets matter this morning, Mr. Atwood or Mr. Travis?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. And officer, if you could let the jail know we're all set with Mr. Sheets.
All right, we're all set with you.
Disregard, there's a deputy taking care of Mr. Sheets.
Hey, and this is Mr. Deron Wilson, is that right? Yes, good afternoon. You have been charged in case 24 CR 007815A with battery family violence. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
On probation, the cab, theft by conversion, 2015 FTA. That's it.
Hey. Yes, Miss Allen.
Thank you, Your Honor. This is an incident from August the 22nd of 24. At 4 a.m., police were called to the victim, Mrs. Quenisha Trent, who is here on the Zoom. Met with police. She was seen to have swelling and bruising to her body, her right eye, her arm, her head, and elsewhere on her face. She reported that she and the defendant lived together. This is at about 4 or 5 in the morning. She said her husband arrived home after being at the strip club. He was intoxicated. They argued and he assaulted her. He picked up a hair comb and struck her in the leg and the arm. He then picked up a rod that goes to TV and struck her in the face. He threw her cell phone into water and damaged it. She was seen to have a laceration on the side of her head. The DV investigator, Muzan Hall, followed up with her, interviewed her, and reviewed the body-worn camera and obtained a warrant on August the 24th. We did speak to Mrs. Trent today. She reports that she's in fact the primary aggressor here, and she was trying to stab him with a comb. She also said he struck her in the face, and she had to receive stitches in her eye and her arm, and that they've been living together since this incident. So she wants to continue contact. There have also been many successful jail calls to her from the jail, Your Honor. We're asking for a $2,000 surety and an order that says no contact to stay away from the location where they live, if that's in fact still their address, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons. The concern here is a risk to reoffend and harass and intimidate witnesses. The fact that a victim is indicating that not only was she injured to the degree that she had to get stitches on her arm and her eye as a result of this incident, and is now essentially recanting and claiming responsibility, which is not unusual. Again, just like I argued a few minutes ago, life returned back to normal after this report was made on August the 22nd, and arguably this defendant just went back home again, and so her reality may have been adjusted because of that. There's a concern for the safety of this victim as well as the 3 children that they share. In addition, because of the information about her lacerations receiving stitches with medical information, this could be upgraded to an aggravated battery. I know you understand that. So we'll just see. Those are the terms we're asking for: no contact and stay away. And if you would sound for Mrs. Trent. Thank you.
Ms. Trent, I see that you're here on the line. If you wish to address the court, now is your opportunity. I will need for you to raise your right hand for me, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give this court is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can place your hand down, Ms. Trent. What would you like to tell the court?
Yes, sir. This is my husband. We've been together 12 years, married for 9. However, this situation has never happened between us. Out of all the years we've been together, this is the first time anything like this has happened. And it wasn't him returning home from the strip club. We came from the strip club together. So it was both of us out drinking and having a night. So I would blame it on the alcohol at that point. I'm not in fear for my life or whatever. And he is my kid's dad and he's helping me. So that's the only help I got at the moment. And about like what she said as me recanting my statement, I was the aggressor in the situation because previously, I mean, just like being together for 12 years, we've been in and out, and I've dealt with a lot of infidelity on my end from him. And I just felt like, going through my phone or whatever that night, I felt like it wasn't nothing for him to be mad at me about at that time and period. But for the most part, I'm not fearing for my life, and this is the first time this has ever happened, like to this degree or just period. This is the first time it's ever been this bad.
How many children do you have?
With the defendant, I have 3 kids. All of them is by him.
Okay, how old are they?
We have a 10-year-old, a 9-year-old, and an 8-year-old.
And where do they live? They live with you all?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and are you still at the Conley Road address?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And on the night that this happened, where were the children?
They weren't here. I don't think. Were they here? They weren't here.
Who's in the room? Are they there with you right now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you understand how that's problematic for me, right? They have their father here in courtroom too, locked up, and you have your children there witnessing that. Don't you think that this could be traumatizing for a 10, 9, and an 8-year-old to hear and see this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you need to make better choices. Okay, and if you can't make those choices, I might have to assist you with making those choices.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
I understand whatever goes on between you and Mr. Wilson, you're a grown person. But those 3 kids, you are all that they have. However you are raising them, that's the kind of people they're going to be. They're going to look and see what you all are doing and how you're doing it and how you're influencing them. You have a huge responsibility on your hands. It's not just you. It's not just Mr. Wilson. The only thing that should be on your mind is raising those children in the right way. And seeing you all go through all of this like this is not, in my opinion, raising them in the right way.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I appreciate you being here this afternoon, Ms. Trent. Mr. McLean?
Your Honor, my 40-year-old was a graduate of Booker T. Washington High School. And after that, he had pursued a business management degree in a level. He completed 2 years at Bowder, which has a campus on North Avenue, not that terribly far from, I believe, Georgia Tech. He tells me he works also, he's a certified forklift operator and works at the Kroger warehouse and has for quite some time. 925 is definitely their address. If Your Honor is inclined to separate the couple, then he could go live with his brother. I did discuss that with him. He and I had a discussion about several topics also. His last arrest before now was in 2020 on October 12th, and it says open case on the public safety assessment report that he's on 5 years probation and it would have to be from that 2020 case. So it took 3 years to get the plea or the verdict, or probably a plea, probation, Your Honor. And I said, you must be on probation now, right? And he says, no, it was early terminated. He says, I did everything I was supposed to do. And already less than a year later, after going on that 5P, he's done all his requirements. And I said, well, I don't have time today to look it up in DeKalb County, but maybe it's still under suspension. Maybe it was balance suspended if you got the early termination. I don't know. But he tells me, Your Honor, he has no obligations on that case anymore and successfully completed. So he did put the effort in, Your Honor. They do need to, they have quite a bit on their plate here. I would ask the court to consider a signature bond if possible, and a low surety bond if not.
Okay, it's going to be a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 3, 1-day anger awareness, a parenting class. At this point in time, no further contact with Ms. Trent. He's to stay away from the Conley Road address. He can go back to that address on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings. Third-party transfer of the minor children for visitation, and no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. All right.
You said level 3, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Good luck to you, Mr. Wilson. You also, Ms. Trent.
Your Honor, you were going in and out. What was that dollar amount of the bond?
It's a $3,000 signature bond, level 3.
Thank you.
You're welcome.